Google has launched Google's Antigravity editor. It's a programmer's editor, a new and highly advanced AI-powered integrated development environment, IDE, that represents a significant shift in how developers write code. I'm interested that Gemini has actually helped me with that little summary, a sort of shift in how developers write code. How different is it? You've been using the platform. How different is it from VS Code?
Yes, so basically, Antigravity is a fork of VS Code. So it just takes like the open source of VS Code and just creates a new one, like similar. If you open Antigravity, you can see a lot of similarities with VS Code. So VS Code has integrated GitHub Copilot, which is like a ask an agent kind of like a chatbot that can help you, but like it kind of oversees the workspace as well. So
is that syntactical error checking, or is it more than that?
No, it's more than that. It can check the errors, but like it can actually try to help you find the issues and where things are. Because when you are, for example, asking something with ChatGPT or Gemini or any LLM that you're using as a chatbot, and you ask the question, if you copy the code, or even if you don't copy the code, but you have to explain like all the ways through the code, with Antigravity, it kind of, you can point to the direction, say like, oh, I'm having this issue and this is going there, and I'm having the problem passing the data.
So my understanding is that it's fundamentally shifts the development away from this AI as an assistant, like sort of autocomplete, towards AI as an autonomous agent. The platform's designed around delegating complex multi-steps and tasks to AI agents. So it's like, write me this and then test it, and then write me some test software.
Yeah, I would say this is more, I think like the power at the end is with the developer. So if you want to code and you need to you need to find some issues, it's there. But you can, like, if you really want to go and just create a like MCP server that will read GitHub task and just do that in a very autonomous way, it's also doable.
Right.
It just needs to bring the pieces together. But that's more like a conversation of like how much AI you should put in developing a platform.
Igor, I'm really interested in your experience of using AI assistants in creating code, because a lot of the policy kind of discussion around this is like these incredibly powerful generative AI tools are making us dumber, and also not allowing people who are in the kind of phase in their career where they're developing their skills, they're not enabling them to develop those skills. What would you say to that?
That's a very tricky question, because what happened is, I really do think that AI can make people not think about it, but it's more about the critical thinking. If you are like, it's just as ChatGPT, you can ask, for example, to ChatGPT give you a summary of a book, or you can ask for book recommendations and read the book. So like, I think it's more about the person that is using, but I agree with you. I think we're going to have a generation that will grow up using AI that will not have a lot of critical thinking.
Yeah. So, Alice, a lot of fun toys here: multi-agent orchestration, verification via artifacts, browser in the loop testing, really cool things for geeky people. One fact is that the new editor is powered primarily by Google Gemini's 3 Pro software. It's not vendor locked, which means that other vendors can plug into this platform, which is based upon Microsoft's excellent Visual VS Code platform. Yeah. That's what it's based on. And they shocked the market by launching a really cool piece of software for free for developers that seemed to blow away all the others. But this one's powered by Gemini, but you can also, it's got modal optionality by supporting advanced models, including Anthropic's Claude Sonnet 4.5 and other open source LLMs. Wasn't Anthropic Claude Sonnet the thing that threatened its engineers earlier in the year?
Yeah, so they were trying to get it to they were using Claude to threaten another AI model, and it responded by saying, if you do this, I will remember
that, and I will get back to you later. So, Igor, you're adopting an engine that can plug in an LLM that may threaten you.
Yeah, well, the first...
with that?
Yeah, well, the first, like, that's...
You're going to do this programming this way, Igor.
Yeah,
otherwise
well,
I'll get you.
Chase you. I know where you live. I know where you live. Can you imagine? No, but like the example of Anthropic was like a kind of like a closed test with the developers, and they were trying to push the limits just to actually release Claude. So this was never released to apparently from what I saw, it was not released to general public, thankfully. But yeah, I agree that like the problem with AI with agents and AI is like the amount of liberty that you're gonna give when you're working, and I think like that's really tricky, because I think that's for the developer to see. Like I think like doing we talk about like vibe coding, for example. It's like you don't know what you're doing, just like give me code, I'm gonna copy and paste. Oh, this worked, this doesn't work, and then you end up with a lot of problems. But I think like when you know, like for example, if you have like a tree grid and you want to like replace the grids, and you need to have like a clear view, and you ask this, it's pretty much like lifting the hard work sometimes to actually find like the fine tuning that you're gonna spend a lot of hours and you can do quickly.
Emily, you're excellent at many things, but you're not a coder. Are you tempted to become one? Sit back, dream up some software, let the editor do the work?
No, because I just literally wouldn't know where to start. And I think that when I listened to the two of you describing, your use of AI and vibe coding and things, you're both programmers, and you both really have a kind of structured way of thinking. You know what to ask, you know how to get the best out of it, and how to let it help you. I'm thinking about Alice and James, who we had on the podcast a week or so ago, doing a huge research project, wrangling tons and tons of data and trying to categorize it. That is stuff that humans do badly and inconsistently. At the moment, the AI also does a bit inconsistently, but so much better, and so much more
what's really changed
interesting.
Everything for us with our project of using AI to sort of classify stuff linguistically is, using the AI to tell us how to talk to it. And so we'll come up with a category that we want the AI to put words into, and we say, what do you understand by this term? And then it tells you, like, I understand something completely different. So we're like, okay, we have to change the term to make it something that...
There's one other thing sorry.
Oh, well, this really really struck me the other day, because we had a sort of a big meeting about this research project, and Alice and James were talking about their use of AI and how, first of all, what an iterative process is. You try something, doesn't quite work.
Like alchemy.
How thoughtfully you're approaching it, and that it is that synergy of an inquiring, thoughtful mind, critical thinking, and this incredibly powerful tool that's going to get the result. Just sort of, I wouldn't know where to start with vibe coding. I'm kind of not.
And just to remind everybody that this is not a new idea. Okay, the execution, obviously we have a lot more power in the processing chips and the algorithms now written for us. But in 1791, the Victorian dramatist Scribe, the originator, and his successor Sardou did not use machines or digital AI, but they effectively automated the process of playwriting. And the formula, the algorithm, was basically to develop a plot based upon a secret known to the audience and withheld from the characters. So all of this had to have this in, a pattern of increasing suspense and intense action, frequent use of letters and documents and objects, and a climatic sort of scene affaire, an obligatory scene where the secret is dramatically revealed. It was a prolific machine that developed many plays for the populations at the time, who were going out to thousands of theatres every night. We studied it, and the criticism, the problem was they were all crap. George Bernard Shaw said they derided this work as sardoodledom. So are we going to end up with a lot of crap software?
That's one of the things that I was going to say. Like, one of the things that AI struggles to actually acknowledge that it is wrong unless the user tells it is wrong. And when you are, for example, asking for a piece of information, for example, for a book, you can review the book and say, oh, that's not right. What happens is sometimes it gives you lengthy code or bad code, but let's say the person that start coding has no idea, like, oh, look, you're not doing this right. Maybe you shouldn't use this or this function. Like you could shorten this or just make this applicable for other functions in the future or for other components in the future. AI will not say you this unless you state that. Yeah. So then when it gets like the critical thinking, I think that's a problem. When someone's like very entry level or like learning to code and it's just copying and pasting in ChatGPT or any LLMs, it will struggle to find like, oh, I could use this better. Oh, this is not like a good piece of code.
Thank you very much.